Hi, guys.
Morning.
Possible.
Welcome.
I mean, they're short. Well, what I was gonna suggest is, I got a ton of tight grain fur,
Well,
you know, but.
whatever I do, I need to do the whole thing
Yeah.
so that if I'm staying in, my posts aren't gonna make ground, I'm gonna use a cradle, you know.
She said yes.
Well, maybe before I get too
Nice
panicky,
jobs.
of course, right now I'm being Simpson's shutting down, I need to. put
You didn't tell her I suggested it, right?
Order.
Yeah.
You said it.
How's that?
She was
Huh?
practicing
Well, I'm employed for
Really?
kids. But she thought it funny.
Maybe we.
Good.
Hey, thank you.
Good.
Good, I'm glad you.
I'm glad.
did it. I said-
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
And, you know, I can't go completely overboard. I'm gonna pick up a price sheet today. And I'll figure out what.
Yeah, I do.
But it's about 20 or 40% less.
Yeah.
Now, some of it's green. I mean, if you want, you can. I mean, you can get green or you can
It
pay
doesn't
price
matter,
or.
I just need some 2x6s.
All right.
They don't stand, that's what they have, 2x6s.
Okay. The other issue with trees is picking them.
Oh, yeah.
And I do, my neighbor who wanted some 2x6s.
Yeah, Pull on the
Memorial
inside of you. So when you're
Shelter
going
up
out the car.
by
You're welcome.
Morton,
Yeah.
and you need some form wood. Hey, start thinking about it, because I have to do it before the end of the month.
Okay.
And I'm gonna build a shed, a garden shed, get my tractor out of the garage and all that stuff, and all my tools.
Where are you gonna put that?
Well, I'm gonna put it outside the fence down by the garden with a gate or door coming into the fence, you know, and then the wider one that I'm driving the tractor into from the outside with no lawn and stuff, so it's secure.
Well, yeah, you get a price sheet and take a picture of that and send it to me, and then I'll take a picture of that, so that I'm on first.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, yeah, one of those would be great.
Yeah. I think I have 2 or 3 of them,
Well, or maybe, you know,
and they're a little bonsai.
okay, well, that's fine,
Pots for a
that's
while,
what
I
I
know.
wanna stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might plant them in a pot.
Yeah.
You can do that. That's, my potting was supposed to be that way, it's a black pine, and I planted in a pot before. I gotta cut it down, 'cause it's above the roof, and that's my height restriction.
It's like the other tree.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Does anybody want a tree?
Want a tree?
Yeah. We've got like a 8 or 10 foot fir in our backyard that just took us by surprise at how
They'll
quickly
come
it
and whack it
grew.
off.
I'll cut it off. Mark will come dig it out. Hey, that's good news, I'll have to say that, but I did have some old growth redwood. I bought a one tank a number of years ago.
There we go.
I need to clean it down.
All right. Let's see if we can.
It ends up being.
Ordered a new remote, so hopefully it'll be here in the very near future.
Oh, let's see what we got.
It has been a month since all 3 of those remotes disappeared. So I finally broke down and bought a new one.
Oh, I didn't know 3 remotes. It was cool.
All 3 remotes for our TV. The one that came with the TV, then the one that came with the Blu-ray, and then that special point and click one. All 3 of them disappeared, all at the same time.
Here, yeah,
Mm,
which is weird, why?
Yeah. So anyway, I finally broke down. I gave it a month, and I called everyone who uses this room, and no one had any clue where it was. So
how do you replace those?
So the point and click one was one that we actually purchased separately from LG, and it supposedly, according to LG's own website, which is where I bought it from, it controls both the Blu-ray player and the TV. So I just bought that. There were lots of options for buying a replacement TV remote that were third party, and I just bought the little magic one. The magic remote is what they call it.
let's do it.
It was $70 plus tax, so like $76.
Wow.
Not great, but we need a remote, so
Yeah. Oh, that's-
bought a remote.
Yeah.
All right, so
Are you gonna
Anybody?
Lock it up?
yeah, we're probably gonna put it in one of the cabinets over there above the coffee machines,
Yeah.
just so that it's not visible for people for whatever reason to just walk off with it, or
Right.
who knows? Who knows? Apparently.
Well, the last time I was here was May 4th.
May 4th. We've had, yeah, what is today? May 18th. I should know that. Apparently, my coffee's not kicking in yet. All right, May 18th. Any questions?
You know, I had a message from somebody on here,
Uh-huh.
and then it disappeared. And I checked under messaging, and it's not here. I think maybe they had left it on Facebook, and the new Facebook message come up automatically on here? I think
Yeah,
so.
on your lock screen. Yeah, sometimes they can. If you got a Facebook message, the way messaging works with the Facebook,
That's what I'm looking for now.
what would you call it? The Facebook suite of apps, because Facebook is no longer just Facebook for apps for your phone or tablet. You have Facebook, which is what we're all accustomed to through the web interface. But then, in their words, in order to make a better user experience and to make it better, to make it each part of Facebook work its best on your phone or tablet, they actually divided the apps. So if you got Facebook, which is Facebook, then you have Facebook Messenger, which is the messaging, like text messaging, or
Okay, well, that's what I got, and I got it from a Georgia Winsmere, and I've got her
Yep.
name up here under search. Is that where I would go?
are you looking on your
I'm on my Facebook page right now.
on your computer?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would look under that second. Let's pull up a Facebook page.
messages.
Yeah, it should be up in the upper right-hand side. Upper right-hand
Here
side,
it
I
is.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's pull it up on
So how does
screen.
that work? She's inquiring about my health. This is a family member.
Yeah, so right here is where your
So did
messages
she
would appear.
send it specifically to me then?
So if you click on the message,
Yeah.
let's see. Here's my phone. Yeah, but I want to open that up in. I want to go into messaging. I want to go to my inbox. I want to go. Please help me. There we go.
You need some more coffee this morning?
Apparently, my goodness. All right. So here's a conversation between a friend of mine and myself. Been trying to find a night that we're both not working and taking care of our kids to play a game. So I think that's what, yeah. So that's what we've been talking about. So up here where it says Braden Swain, my friend from, I think all the way back to 4th grade. It just says Braden Swain. So it's only between him and I. So that's how you would know, Bob. Otherwise, here's
Well, okay,
one.
So how do,
This one says Christy and Becca. And then obviously I'm reading it. So it's actually between the three of us.
well, this message is from Georgia and it says, "Hi, Robert," but is it only to me? Apparently.
If you look up at, see this conversation title up here where it just says my friend's name? Right up here. Or I'm moving my mouse cursor.
Yeah.
If it only says your friend's name or that person's name
Yeah.
and no one else's,
Yeah.
then it's just the two of you.
So when I reply, it's just to her.
Yep.
So if I want to send this kind of a message to you,
Mm-hmm.
and I want it just between you and I.
Yep.
Um,
You would click on this new message button.
okay, let me go out. I'll go back to home.
Yep. So you can go to home, click on your little Facebook F. And then over here on the left-hand side here,
Says messages.
should say messages.
Okay.
And then in the upper right, well, kind of center
new
right,
message.
it says new message. So you click there, and then you will type a name of a person,
So I would type. Okay,
the person you want to send a message to. And if they're your friend, it should start popping up suggestions based on what you're typing.
so now I've got Brian up there.
Yep. So then you go to the bottom center where it kind of has faded out. It says write a message.
Oh, that's where it is.
Yep. And then you start typing your message, and then you simply press enter to send. And I got one from Bob that says test.
So.
And it's real time, so it's like sending a text message. It's not like an email where you send an email and it takes time, and it's instant, and I can instantly reply back. So now you should have my reply.
Okay, I've got very good pool.
That's at the top. Look all the way to the bottom. That's an old message. You sent test, and underneath
Oh,
that,
that's back.
yes. And it shows, if you look at, it shows a little check mark with the word seen at 11:11 a.m. So I know that you saw that message.
Oh, wait a minute.
At
I
11:11.
just clicked on it.
Where?
Now
Right
I've got
here.
Becca.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh,
Yeah, right here. It's, I can't highlight it, but right there it says seen at 11:11. So I know he may not have replied,
But you know,
but I know that Bob saw my message.
Eric, we used to be able to, with word or texting or back and forth, you used to be able to tell when somebody opened a message.
Yeah, you can do that with your,
Still doing that?
you can, I don't know about Android, but I know with your iPhone and your iPad, there's an option for read receipt.
What about internet mail or, you know?
Yeah, there's options.
When I first started, when I was with Simpson, we used to have that option.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the option for basically saying, would you like to be notified if this person is, but what that person can do is that person gets notified of that, and they can choose not to send a red receipt because it asks, it says this person wants to be notified, thank you, Sandy, if you've received this email or read this email. And you have the option of saying, and it says, would you like to reply or would you like to send that? And you can say no. So there's really, I haven't used it for a very long time because people can say no, and it totally negates the fact that you asked for a read receipt or read receipt. So.
I noticed I get a lot of reminders from folks if I haven't gone into Facebook lately and replied.
It's not from folks, it's from Facebook.
From
Yeah,
Facebook.
it's, yeah, I'm getting all kinds of them because I don't spend as much time on Facebook as I used to. And so I will get, you have 12 notifications pending, or,
Yep, get a lot of those.
or, you know, someone posted something and you haven't looked at it. That's not that person, that's Facebook
Okay, or
trying to be helpful.
someone's, so-and-so is waiting for a reply.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all automated by Facebook.
Okay.
So Jim, more questions about the messages, Bob?
Well, I just want to confirm my understanding that when I send a message under messaging,
Mm-hmm.
it's only to the recipients that I specify.
Correct. And you can make a multi
I could.
user conversation.
I could address it.
Yeah. Here's one with 23 people that I was a part of. I don't think I ever replied to it, but 23 people were sent this message. It was kind of like a group conversation. So,
So if somebody sends a group, you'll know it and you're included in the group.
yeah, and you're
So
included
you-
in the group.
You left it off.
Yep.
Now, it came up here on my
Yep.
iPhone, but then when I went back in, it was gone. Apparently.
Because you saw it on your,
No, this was before I turned this on.
if you ever see a message and then you open your phone, that notification goes away. But what you can do,
Okay,
that's the whole reason that Apple, because there were lots of complaints about that I got while I wasn't using my phone or while I was sleeping. You wake up in the morning and you've got, let's say, 10 notifications while you were asleep. You had 4 emails, 3 Facebook things, and another 3 things from, let's just say, Twitter.
So they all go away when I open.
Well, kind of. So before they just literally disappeared. Morning, welcome.
Hey, Bart.
So they would just disappear. Then they invented Notification Center to combat that issue. And what that is, so see, Bob, let's see. Yeah, so here's my lock screen. I've got Twitter, I've got mail, I've got Twitch, and more mail.
Okay, so that's on your iPhone right now.
My iPad. On the lock screen of my iPad. When I flip away, it's all gone. And when I
didn't
lock
get
my
anything.
screen.
I didn't get it. Oh, you're on your iPad. My MacBook Pro is different.
Yeah, it works kind of the same because it also has a notification center. So if you're on your phone or your iPad, you can swipe down from the very top of the screen. Basically go away from the screen and swipe down, iPhone, iPad. You have your today screen, shows my calendar, and you can edit what you see. But here's my calendar, my reminders, and it shows the weather. It's 57 right now, the high is 64. That's a little widget. And I have 2 events scheduled tomorrow, first one starting at 10 o'clock. So then the second tab is notifications. Now here's all the things that have happened that I have not looked at.
Okay, so I swipe down, and first thing I'm getting is the weather. Then I'm getting a calendar. Then I'm getting the stock market.
Yep, so that's your today tab.
And then
There.
I'm getting the latest news.
Yep. So up at the top of the tab there, you're highlighted on the today.
Oh,
If
notification.
you click on notifications, it'll show all the things that you've missed.
Oh.
So if you've ever scrolled away, if you've ever clicked away from the lock screen and you didn't swipe it and you forgot what that was, here's your list of all the things you've not seen or it doesn't
How
think
far
that
back
you've
does
seen.
this list go?
The
62
default-
days ago.
Well, but by default, regardless of time frame, it could be a year ago, but it'll keep the top 5 items for each category. So your not top, but your latest 5 emails. I may have 10 emails waiting for me, but this will show my top 5.
Well, I've got trivia crack.
See, there's 5 from Twitch, 4
Pandora,
from Nook, 5 from Twitter.
and 5 from Facebook.
Boy.
Yep,
So
You're
keep just the
popular,
last 5.
let me tell you.
That's great, because my problem is, when I turn it on, it's there for a few seconds and then goes away.
it goes away.
And I have to turn it on again to read the various, because I get news feeds, CNN and
Yeah.
Fox and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, and it'll pull up it'll tell if you got something from CNN, if you got something from Flipboard, if you got something from,
Yeah, I can see now. I got
like if you got a weather alert,
got apps and
Yep.
Pandora. And
it'll tell you all those things. And then if you don't want those, if you want to see one of those things, you simply touch it and it'll take you there.
Okay, now trivia
Straight
crack,
to
I don't
that.
know how I got that on here, but there's an X to the right.
That dismisses.
All trivia.
Yeah.
Forever.
No. Just the ones that you've already received notifications for.
Wishful thinking.
Okay, and how do?
If you get a
how were
notification in the future, it'll reappear.
How were these determined? Did I put them in? Was there?
By default, when you first install an app and then you first load it, you get that little pop-up screen. Would you like to receive notifications such as blah, 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 blah? If you click yes, they will now appear in your notification center. If you click no, they won't. And then you can go back later into settings, notifications, and you can see all these apps that have the power of sending you notifications, and you can individually turn them on and off, how many you want to receive. So messages, in my notification center, I have 5, the latest 5 messages, text messages from
So my
people.
notifications do not include Facebook notifications. Perhaps that was never programmed in.
Yep, you might have clicked no. So you can go through this and manually adjust
Where would I add that then, under?
under notifications and then click on Facebook.
Brian, where did you go after that to see the?
You click on one individually. So messages, allow notifications, so you could just deny them if you didn't want them. And then how many, the sound it makes. If you want, so an app badge icon, so if you've got like 12 emails and it shows the number 12, that's what a badge is. And then show on lock screen. Do you want your lock screen to show that you've received 3 emails? If for whatever reason your email's sensitive and you don't want them to show up in your lock screen, you tick that little thing off and it won't show them. Or if you do want them in your lock screen to know that you're getting email, but you don't want it, you know how it sends like, it shows a preview line of the content? This show preview button on the bottom, if you took that off, it'll just say that you've received a mail message. It won't show the title of the email, won't show the body of the email on your lock screen.
Under today and under notifications, I want to add Facebook.
Okay,
How do I do that?
go to the settings, notifications.
On my phone?
Yep, phone or tablet.
Okay, go to settings.
And these are all individuals. So if you wanted them to happen on your,
Okay, so I want to go to Facebook.
Yep.
No, Facebook.
yep, so you click on
Okay, so I clicked
Facebook.
on Facebook.
And then if the allow notifications is the little tickers turn to white, then they're off. If they're on green, that means they're on.
I've got calendar contact. I've got Facebook on.
Under notifications, does it look like this, Bob?
No, it doesn't. It looks.
Are you under Facebook or are you
I'm
under your
on Facebook.
notifications?
I went into.
Settings,
Settings.
notifications, not settings, Facebook. That's different. I know that's
Settings,
confusing.
Notification.
Yep, then scroll down and find Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Because Facebook and Twitter and Vimeo and where are they?
Oh, I see.
Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, and Vimeo are kind of, they're not built in, but they're integrated into iOS. And so they have their own separate categories down here as well.
Okay, so here's Facebook. No.
This is cool.
Which is actually,
Oh, here's Facebook.
this part actually ties in directly to what I was going to talk about today, which is
Now,
safety
I
features.
enter that screen.
Yep.
Sounds, I guess I should turn that on.
If you want, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, these are all,
So they're all on now.
yep.
So I should then.
So now when you get a Facebook notification, it'll appear on both your lock screen and in that little notification center.
Okay, why didn't, I got the one earlier from Georgia, but then it disappeared when I opened the phone.
If that was turned off, then it would have
No, it
disappeared.
wasn't turned, the sound was turned off, but the others were turned on.
Well, again, it'll be in your notification center.
So under alert style, when unlocked,
Alert style, so you can have none. Yeah, when unlocked. So if you're actually using your phone and you get a notification from Facebook, do you want it to be a banner, which is that little strip that appears at the top of your screen? Or do you want it to be that old alert style where it's this big box that appears in the center of your screen? And the reason why most people switch to banners is because, let's say I'm checking my email and I'm reading an email and I get a new email and the little banner pops up. The little banner just pops up and then disappears.
so you'd recommend that.
I would. The alert interrupts and freezes your screen until you deal with it. And it blocks what you're reading. Yeah, exactly. So that's my personal recommendation, but if you want to be in your face for a good reason, notified of everything, then you can choose alerts. Or if you have a reminder, you know, sometimes reminders or a calendar event, sometimes those are really important. So maybe you do want to be interrupted saying, you need to leave now for your doctor's appointment.
Barb's got a question.
Well, my question is so elementary. I just want to know how to put a picture on an email.
Picture on an email
Get it off
from
the
a computer.
camera, onto the computer. Yeah,
What kind of camera do you have?
so that's
You're gonna, you off your cell phone or off the camera?
off the camera.
Okay. You have a card?
No. but I've got-
You have a card in the camera. There's gotta be.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I've got that thing yet, but yeah.
Yeah, the little SD card.
Yeah.
So there's two ways. There's probably a cable that came with your camera,
Yeah, I've got that.
or you just remove the card out of your camera and plug it into your yeah.
Reader right there on your right hand side.
Yep, I see it right facing Sandy, right there in the front. Right there is the SD card reader.
Well,
So you literally just take the card out and plug it in there.
I hate
And your
it.
computer's-
No.
Nope.
I'm pretty basic here.
It's all good. We go from basic to,
We
Back in
relearn every
elementary.
time.
Yeah, we,
It helps reinforce what we thought we knew.
so I don't use this.
you can. So this is a preference thing. Do you want to plug in the camera and not worry about pulling out the card? Or do you just want to pull out the card and,
I've even forgotten how to pull out.
so underneath where the battery is,
Yeah.
right there in the bottom, there you go.
Oh,
Flip that
thing.
open. And there should be a little blue or black or there should be a little,
There.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, no, that's your battery.
That's my battery. No, then that's not what I have. is it?
But right next to it, that
Oh,
is your memory card.
is it?
Yeah.
Is that what I bought?
And then it just plugs in right there,
So did you plug it in?
right here.
Okay.
So it kind of like spring loaded. So you push
Yeah.
and it locks in, and then you
Okay.
press it in and it'll pop back out. So now you just open your computer and
I'll try.
then we can go. So you work on that.
Okay.
So those are different. Yeah, so you can individualize any and all of these different things in the notification center. One of the other things that I was going to mention is Control Center, which we've talked about before. So swiping from top to bottom is your notification center and your little today screen. Swiping from the bottom is your Control Center,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
which you can, if you're playing music, you can quickly skip forward or backward a song or pause, etc. You can turn on airplane mode, turn on or off Wi-Fi, on or off Bluetooth, on or off do not disturb mode, on or off orientation lock.
It's an orientation lock.
Turn off your phone.
Exactly. You can bring up a timer, bring up your camera, all from this little screen. You can adjust the brightness of your device. So one of the other things you can do though is you can pull this up while your phone or tablet is locked.
What's the orientation?
So I'm in landscape mode right now because my iPad's sideways.
Okay.
If I turn it vertical, it automatically adjusts vertical. So if you wanted, so on Sunday mornings when I preach or lead worship, I don't want my screen to be flip-flopping if I ever move my tablet a little bit. So I lock the orientation into vertical mode.
Oh,
So it
okay.
never flip-flops.
Oh,
But some people think and feel, and to a degree it is, that allowing access to these features, or even you can even pull down your notification center from the lock screen, feel that that's a safety risk. So there are ways to disable it from showing up in your lock screen.
really?
Yeah, so if you don't want that, it's a convenience, but it could be potentially a risk to your security. So you can shut them off from your lock screen. They'll still be able to work while your tablet or phone is open. But when it's locked, you're disabling that feature. And so the way to do that is to, again, go into settings. Anytime we try to mess with features of our devices, we always go into settings. So settings, and then control center, which is just one little tab down on that left-hand side from notifications. And then you can adjust access on the lock screen, or if you don't want to access it while you're in an app, you can even disable it from working within an app, which is just kind of a preference. Sometimes if you're swiping and doing things, you might accidentally pull that up, and you're like, that's frustrating. But you still be able to do it from the home screen. So again, both those are personal preference, whether or not you want to be able to access those from the lock screen or not, or apps.
Don't touch the auto factory
I
reset.
don't have any Wi-Fi connection.
Oh, I'll get you. Let's see. So it's this one. Alright. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug that in, and there should be, there you go. You click on that, and then see, there's an option right here. Import your photos and videos. So you click on that option. And now it's going to search for all the pictures on that card.
Oh, my. Certainly a lot of them. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then it'll ask you, do you want to import all of them, some of them? And yeah.
Well, this is a new one, and I just had somebody come and help me, and she set it up,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know whether she took, I think she took it on.
Well, and Windows 8, which is what I have also, is difficult to use. Luckily this summer, Windows 10 is coming out for free. So you can upgrade for free from Windows 8 to Windows 10. And it's supposed to bring back some of the familiarity of what we've grown accustomed to. And I recently found out, for anyone who does have a PC and decides to upgrade to Windows 10, Windows 10, at least for a very, very long time, according to Microsoft, is going to be, and I'll qualify this, but I'm going to say it first, is going to be the last Windows. And that doesn't mean that they're no longer making Windows. It's not meaning that they're switching to another operating system. It simply means that from now on, once you get Windows 10, they're going to simply push to you free upgrades to the operating system from here on out.
Oh, that's a biggie.
So you won't have Windows 11 or Windows 12 or Windows Supernova or something like that. Yeah. Well, but different from Apple. Apple, even though they're going free, they're still pushing a big update out every year. What Windows is going to do is they're just going to push out little updates all the time. So let's say their built-in Photos app gets redesigned. Instead of waiting for that along with new Word and Excel and PowerPoint and all this stuff, instead of sending it out all at one time, they'll just send you the new Photos app or Photos program. Or if there's some kind of major incompatibility with something, they'll just push that out. They're not going to say, a year from now, we're going to push this huge update. They're just, as soon as they find something that needs to be fixed or updated, or, you know, they want to improve the interface somehow, they're just going to push that to you. Just, you know, we get those security updates. That's how they're going to do it. They're just going to send you these little updates. You reboot your computer, and now you've got the newest and latest version of Windows.
Wow.
So that's what they're going to do from now on. So if you do upgrade to Windows 10, that's basically going to be your operating system for years to come, which will be, I think it's an intriguing and possibly helpful model that, you know, you're not waiting for these huge updates, and then if the huge update come,
Takes forever.
people have been complaining, it's getting better, but people have complained about Yosemite for Mac. Because what Apple is doing is they are pushing these huge updates on a yearly basis, which they didn't used to do before, and so it's not as polished. The Mac is not as polished as it used to be. It's still a great system, but they're trying to do so much on a yearly basis to say, look at all this new stuff we have. It's hard to do that on a yearly basis for an entire operating system for a computer. So Windows is saying, we're not going to do that. We're just going to send you little stuff all the time instead of sending one giant package all at once.
Talking about updates, on one of my computers, not on this, on my desktop,
Mm-hmm.
there's one update that will not load, and it tries to load 10 times a day, and it has for the last year.
My gosh.
Oh, so it probably fails every time.
Yeah, it fails, and then
Yep.
another tanker, I go in and it's tried to load,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know why I can't load it, and it's so old now, it's probably been updated and not important.
Right.
I think there's a way you can block it, just like optional ones, you can block the optional ones keep showing up. Say if you don't want an update to start
Right.
or something, you can say, quit showing it.
Right.
So I can probably block that one too, although it's an important one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that you can go to Microsoft's Windows website, and because each update has a code attached to it, like KB 97842176632, and you would type that into the Windows part of the section of the Microsoft website, and you should be able to download it manually
Oh, okay.
and try to install it manually instead of through the Windows update.
Okay.
And that would be option 2. I think option 3 would be to ignore it, but I think option 2 would be to. So I would try that second.
All the barbecue recipes. You watch some interesting stuff.
So here's another, and I don't know if this might be specific to iOS 8, but you can also, again, more safety. You can do different options with your messaging, because you get messages and they appear on your lock screen, and maybe you don't want someone looking over your shoulder because it shows you that preview. You can disable the preview. It'll say the person's name, but it'll just say new message. So you can disable it from there.
Sorry. Did you look at this?
Yes,
Okay, I just want to make sure that that's a good check.
yes.
So you can have it, again, you go into settings, messages, and then you can have it so that it doesn't actually show the message from your lock screen. So again, today's about safety, and I guess privacy more than safety. But so that would again.
So like on a text.
Yes. So on a text, it would then just say new message. It would not show that preview line where it says, could you go to the store and pick up turkey for dinner? It would just say new message. And then you'd have to unlock your phone and go and look at the message. Let's see where that is. All right. How to turn, well, that's quick reply. How to turn off message previews. Settings, notification center. Okay, so it's under notifications. And then tap on messages. Show, and then there's the show on lock screen. Or no, not show on lock screen. Down in the very bottom, here's a little show preview it towards the very bottom, and you would turn it off. So,
Okay, so notifications.
yep, messages. So scroll up and find messages. Right there.
Okay.
Scroll to the, oh, yeah, scroll up, down. Can you scroll more? Yeah, there you go. See show preview.
Okay.
And then if you didn't want them, you would turn that off.
Great.
So it would say, you know, Daniel, but it wouldn't say what the message is. And then you could swipe and go straight
Oh,
into
yeah.
it. But
How come your screen is different than my screen for iPad? Because I have a real old model?
no, this is my laptop right now.
Oh, your laptop.
So, and this website, by the way, is an amazing website. imore.com. Imore, what was the magazine that you subscribed to that is no more? One of the Mac ones.
Back world.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people from there are at iMore now. And so they're doing some great stuff. And look at it. At the bottom of this particular thing about how to turn off message previews, how to, and you can just click any of these links. How to enable and activate.
This is a browser that you use? Or
It's a website.
A website
Yeah.
for searching for answers?
It's all, well, not just that. I mean, they have news articles, all kinds of stuff. imore.com. I subscribe to their podcast. I just listened to it the other day when I was traveling for Synod Assembly and 2 hours in the car. So listen to podcasts, and this is one of the ones I listen to. So yeah, and I mean, you can look things up specifically for the iPhone, iPad, the watch, the Mac, how-tos, all kinds of stuff. So, and then quick reply. I think this might be iOS 8 specific, but if you have been texted and it's on your lock screen, you can, so if you swipe from left to right on the lock screen, it'll open up your Messages app, right? To go into the app to see what they typed or to reply. Well, in iOS 8, they have a quick reply feature. So if you're on your lock screen, instead of swiping left to right on your, well, any of your iOS devices, whether it's an iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch, you can swipe right to left and do a quick reply straight from the lock screen. So you never actually unlock your phone. You don't ever go into the actual messaging app. But again, it's another safety issue, because if someone grabs your phone, because you don't have to unlock it, you don't need Touch ID, you don't need your 4-pin code, someone could swipe and reply. And that's not a huge necessarily safety thing, but you know, someone could say something inappropriate or rude or mean or threatening to someone that you were having a conversation with. So again, it's another safety, privacy thing. So you can turn that off again. You would go to, for whatever reason though, this one is under your Touch ID. So it would have to be with iPhone 5S or 6 with running iOS 8. So you may not even have quick reply, Sandy.
No, I wouldn't. Sure.
So reply with iMessage, so you can just turn that off if that's something you want. So there's just all these great how-tos that I found on the website. Yeah, so we looked at this one already. This is what it would look like, Sandy, from now on. It would say the person's name, and it would simply say that you have a message from your lock screen instead of showing a preview. So we already looked at that one. And then we already, since Bob brought up where did my messages go, we already brought up notification banners, pop-ups, badges, etc. So, and they have similar things for the Mac. You've got a notification center on your Mac too, Bob. It's on your very right-hand side of the screen. It's hidden by default. I forget what icon is there to bring it up though.
It's on the very right-hand side of my screen.
Yeah, right-hand top, because your
Oh,
bar is there. I'm gonna step away from the screen for a minute. Yeah, the little,
this one?
yeah. So there's your today window, just like on your phone. And then just like your phone, it's got the second tab for your notifications.
Find it on here.
And there it brings up mails, and all your emails and other kinds of things. So again, another way that
Some of these are really old, they're a year old.
well, because it keeps the latest 5, for example. So if the latest 5 is a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, that's still the newest 5 that you've received. So yeah, and again, you can just click that little X and get rid of them, just like you can with
I
that.
hear from Pastor Brian today at 9:49 regarding our class.
Yes, class today. Yep. So yeah.
I had a fellow that I knew a number of years ago. All of a sudden, he started appearing on my Facebook timeline. How could that have happened? Did I do something that permitted that?
Someone you don't know.
Oh, somebody I know.
Okay. Someone you know.
And somebody I lost contact with some time ago. And now I'm finding on my timeline Facebook messages, Facebook
Posts on the timeline.
I wonder how that happened.
The person could be using their Facebook more often now. At some point, you might have clicked on one of his posts because you found it interesting. And the more when you're using Facebook, the more you click on or like or comment on particular people's posts on your timeline, the more often you'll see stuff from them.
Would I see everything from them though?
You would, but what Facebook does by default is so obviously we're not on Facebook all the time. Well, I'd say most of us aren't on Facebook all the time. You wake up in the morning, you check Facebook, then you don't check it again, let's say until that evening, or maybe not until the next morning because your routine is to just check Facebook while having your cup of coffee during the day.
Sounds about right.
So because of that, Facebook wants you to catch up with the things with the people you interact most often, or things. Let's say you subscribe to iMore or you like iMore's page on Facebook. So that would be a thing, not a person. So the more you pay attention to certain people or things, the more often Facebook knows that. And so since it's been a whole day since you've seen stuff, it's gonna, let's say you interact with your daughter a lot on Facebook. It's gonna bring up something from 23 hours ago from your daughter, even though it's 23 hours old, because you interact with her, versus someone who is a high school friend that you're just friends on Facebook, but you never message them, you never look at their posts or anything. You will probably never see that unless you spend hours scrolling through your
Maybe at the
timeline.
bottom of 50.
Yes. Yep. And then the way to combat that, so to speak, but I think you have to do it every single time, is, and I don't remember where it is anymore.
And there's no limit. This timeline goes on forever, does it not?
Yeah. They keep moving stuff around, so I'm gonna have to. There's a way to. Yeah. News. Oh, there it is. News feed. So yeah, it always defaults,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't know if there's a way to change this permanently.
Where
But
are you?
so if you're on your front page of your timeline,
Yeah, newsfeed.
yep, your news feed.
Click on that.
Click on the little drop down arrow.
Yeah. top stories or most.
So it always defaults to top stories, which is what I was describing to you.
I'm
Is the people that you interact, people or things that you interact with the most.
Oh, and what would most recent be, just a timeline?
Most recent is literally who posted 10 seconds ago out of every single person that you are
So top
friends with.
stories, these are ones that I seem to go to frequently.
Yeah. So if you're constantly visiting, or interacting with, liking, commenting on your family's pictures and postings,
And it
then
defaults
that's who you're going to see as your top stories. See, this was from 20 hours ago. A friend of mine who went to Disneyland. It's 20 hours old. This one, someone I went to seminary with. It's from yesterday at 3 a.m. 19 hours old, 20 hours old. So obviously these are not at all new stories. But then if I click on most recent, I now have 20 minutes ago I see stuff from him where someone, Mike Sutherland. I don't really ever interact with him, but he updated 28 minutes ago. So now I'm seeing something that normally I wouldn't see because I only ever visit Facebook maybe once a day, probably a couple times a week at the most, to be honest. So if you want to see the most recent, that's how you would do that. If you want to see something from someone specifically, honestly, I would go up here and search for their name and click on them and see what they've posted recently.
Now, that most recent, is that prioritized based upon if I click and give a message or just view it?
No, literally just whoever's posted the most recently. So for example, if someone went on a trip and maybe you don't interact with them that much, but you knew they went on a trip and you wanted to see if they posted anything about it on Facebook, I would click on search Facebook, type their name in, and then scroll through their specific timeline. Someone had a birthday party. You want to see if they posted pictures. Search for them specifically, especially if you don't interact with them that often. Because there's just, I've got, I don't know, probably 300 friends on Facebook.
Wow.
And so,
What is this others folder? You know that? On some of these garage sale and shopping, Mason County things, it says, I messaged you, I didn't get it, check your others folder. I have no idea where that is.
on Facebook specifically?
I think so, because it comes from there.
Huh.
It's in there.
That almost sounds like spam because I've never heard of anything called.
No, it happens all the time. And,
I've never heard of others.
yeah, and I've never found it either.
Well, let's. Others folder in Facebook.
It's amazing what you can find it. Just ask the question.
Messages. Oh, look at that. Inbox, other.
So how'd you get?
Okay, so here's our timeline, main page. Click on messages. And then it defaults to your inbox, but apparently, there's an other folder.
So what did you click on?
So right here in the upper left, under the search Facebook and the Facebook icon, there is your inbox, and then right next to it, it says other, kind of grayed out. Right there. Did you click messages up here? Oh, it has it there also. So there's inbox and other.
So this is from. Okay, if I click messages.
Yes. Yep, messages, then other.
So do you have any idea why that is, what that's for?
It might be from, well, I don't know. It's got
Messages
people
from people you don't know that aren't friends or something.
or groups
It's
or
like
things.
it's like a spam folder.
Yeah.
When Facebook doesn't know what's.
I mean,
going on.
a majority of this stuff are pages that I like, but not people. There are a couple people, but I have no idea who they are. So it might be people that you aren't friends with / pages that you like, because sometimes pages send out so much stuff. Like if you are a part of.
So I just kind of think this tip, see a message from someone you know, just reply or click move to inbox for the action.
So it's like moving something that you found in your spam folder that actually isn't spam. You'd move it from spam to inbox, and then your mailbox learns that, oh, that's not actually spam, even though it seems to be. So, yeah. I didn't realize, I've always seen that little other thing, but I never paid attention to it, so it just never.
Well, I think these
Stuck.
days where there's the Craigslist kind of things.
Yeah.
You get so many responses from people you don't know that they go into that others folder.
Yeah. Yeah. And there, when you reply on Craigslist, it's those funky email addresses that it automatically generates.
Right.
Yep.
I got.
Did you get your pictures on there?
Yeah, I can't find my most recent ones, but I'm looking for them.
You might be able to sort them
By
by.
date. Let's see.
I'm enjoying them. I haven't seen them for about 3 years.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Well, there's several different, management systems that you can, I use Picasa because Picasa sorts your pictures by day,
mhm,
and then you can put them into folders and albums.
yeah.
and you can
Well, I
put-
have a lot of folders. That's what
Yeah,
I had to.
and that's a free Google program, Picasa free. And then you can, Picasa, then you can.
Picasso, like Picasso.
Yeah.
It's like Picasso, but with an A at the end instead of an O.
Okay,
But it's a free Google program.
yeah, okay.
And I find it easy to use, and you make subfolders, and then what I like about it is you go through all your pictures, and that's one, you can star them. And then you can resort all the stars, and then, you can
I've got a
kind
lot of pictures
sort
that
through 'em
I
and-
don't count, yeah.
and then put all your stars in an album.
Mhm, that's great.
Well, see, that's where like, for your pictures, I put Sandy's pictures or in Picasso in stars, and then resort them and put them into another
Yeah.
album, and then that 400 pictures you have, and now you're down to 20. And then you
More,
can,
more
you can crop
manageable.
them, or you can improve the lighting, and, because sometimes your camera doesn't see what you see.
Well, not this camera, that's for sure.
And then you can make collages with them. And you can,
I just want to send a picture out again, this is.
and you can directly email if
Yeah.
you basically, Picasso, you.
Yeah,
take it
you
to
can
the
do that
bar
with
and
the
then
new-
you Email,
Okay,
and your
That's what I
email
really
address
want.
comes down, you type in the message,
Yeah.
and send the photo.
I will look at Picasso, I'm gonna do it. imore.com, I'll get those apps.
Do you have an iPhone or an iPad or?
Nope, I just have a Kindle and this.
iMore won't help you then.
Oh, want it? Okay,
Oh, it's specific to Apple products.
oh, okay,
So the iPhone, the iPad, the Apple Watch, the Mac.
well, I'll just get Picasso then.
Well, I mean,
But here's
there's
the,
others too,
But that's good. to
Yep.
know.
yeah, I can,
Did you
before
say-
you leave, I can show you what Picasso, what the screen looks like and how to quickly.
yeah, and for Mark and Bob, if you've updated to the new operating system and one of the newest updates came out with the new Photos app instead of iPhoto, which I know you've used a lot, Bob. They've changed from iPhoto to Photos. And so if you want to learn about that, they've done extensive research. And
So but I've updated for Yosemite.
it depends on if you've updated to the latest edition of Yosemite, because I think it's 10.10.3.
How do I know which one I have?
Click on the little apple on the very top right-hand side, and then about this Mac. Left, did I say right?
Yeah.
Left.
And,
And then about this Mac,
okay.
and it should say what version you're running, 10.10. something.
See where they're coming out, the new MacBook Pro. WM,
The,
surmises are gonna release.
the rumors, yeah, right here. Our new Mac's coming at WWDC.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a memory, it startup disk graphics.
Yeah, but it should say version number.
Serial number. Oh, version, here we go, 10.10.1, what's?
One. So 0.3 is the newest. And that will switch you over from iPhoto to
So now I'm
Photos.
gonna have to learn something entirely new.
Yes. But they have guides. So if you go to the main page of,
Oh, I don't know, Brian.
I know.
You get it attacked by capabilities.
I know, they're constantly changing stuff. So, so here's a guide. Look at that, they have even a guide on how to use the
So the
new.
difference between 0.1 and 0.3 is in the photo. I don't-
Well, I mean, there's probably some security updates as well, because there was a 10.2, 10.10.2. And I think that was mostly, that was a little security update. I don't think it was anything major. But the biggest thing that's happened is the new Photos app, and it looks and acts like the one that you use on your iPad or iPhone. Same icon and such.
Okay, we're not on next Monday. I don't imagine it's Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, nope.
Okay.
I don't know if I put that on the calendar. Sometimes I forget things like that.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Hope you did too.
I've seen a lot of pictures and glowing photos that I've
Okay.
forgotten about.
Sure, it's a construct.
Yeah.
If you're interested,
I am.
I don't know, maybe Brian's got a different, there's a lot of
All right.
photo editing and
We'll
control.
see you next time.
I'll
Yeah.
email that stuff to you. Okay.